Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am Darren Moser, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow strandees in the realm of Picard. Maybe the Titan will pick us up this week, Philip and Daniel. So, any rewatches going on, or watchings beyond Star Trek Picard? Maybe The Visitor's popped up. I don't know. Maybe everyone watches The Visitor every once in a while for a good cry.
No, you know what? Nog has earned his respect from General Martog. And it's a cute little bit that I forgot was a thing. And Nog was very upset that because he's so small, the Klingons weren't listening to him. I guess he's doing security duty. And but he did it. He stood up. He said, "You just got to handle them like Klingons." That was cute. It's a cute little character.
Is he Cadet Nog or Ensign Nog in here? Right where you are.
He's still Cadet Nog.
Okay.
So, but I don't know why he's on the station. It was he was just randomly there, but it's fine.
We call it the war phenomenon, when a main character should not be there yet still shows up.
Or like Wesley was in Starfleet even though he was on the Enterprise and stuff. So
yeah. The correspondence courses.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, very good. What about you, Philip? Any new, not new, but old new Trek?
Yeah, I am in the midst. I've finally started my Enterprise rewatch, season 1, and I've been going at a pretty good clip. I couldn't tell you what episode I'm on. Rogue Planet, that I actually remember, was the last one I saw. That was the one where they beam down to this planet, discover some hunters, and then Jonathan sees this mysterious woman, and that turns out to be like the alien that they're hunting, who's kind of like a changeling, just to make connect that thread to what we might be talking about. But anyway, I think I'm probably like mid-season, probably at this point. So, I am enjoying it. I am. But it's weird to me as a tone, and I don't know how to describe this other than a vibe. That Enterprise almost seems backwards culturally, and I know that sounds weird, than previous series. Like, it's just so, I don't know I'll just say it. It's so like heteronormative, man, woman, sexy, men like this, women like, I'm like, I mean, this was made in 2000, like DS9 and Voyager, I feel like a little more laid back about this, like just very, and like I said, it's hard to describe just my vibe I get from Enterprise. I'm enjoying it, but just very like old-timey to me about like roles of people, and it's just, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, we have a little bit to cover. Our plans for covering every episode of Picard so far got a little waylaid as it's that time of year where snow falls in California and people get sick. So now we've
did both of those things happen to you, Darren?
Yes, we did have snow at my house for about 2 hours one day, which was the sky was falling.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It actually snowed here last week.
Well, yeah, as you pointed out this morning with daylight savings, Philip, none of that matters in the UK, but that's cool though. You had a little bit of snow. Do they call it something else over there? In the
white has a U in it, I think.
Yeah, we call it climate change here. That's pretty much what we call
it. But yeah, so we've covered episode 1 of season 3 of Picard, and rather than do a episode by episode blow, just because it's sometimes hard to tell who's been introduced and what's been revealed. So we're just going to kind of cover some of episode 2, 3, and 4, which have all been released at the time of this recording. I think we're through 4. Yeah. So that's Disengage, which is the one where we see Worf return. We have 17 Seconds, where we have the harrowing we learn about Jack Crusher and who he is. And we have, after 17 seconds,
No win scenario,
where we learn about the Changeling. And we also learn about Liam Shaw. So lots of reveals. Like, those are kind of the big 3 reveals of these 3 episodes, I would say. But what did you guys think of Worf's introduction when he comes in, his coffee cup spiel of, I am Worf, son of Moog, house of, Martok, son of Sergei.
Hey, I loved that bit.
I loved it. It was so good. House of
When you mentioned
Vashenko.
Sergei, I was so happy about that.
Slayer of Galaron, Bane to the Duras. It's like, oh man, keep going, Worf, keep going.
Well, Daniel, you'll have to tell me what you think, since you're in DS9 with as folks say, the more developed Worf. But like, I feel, not that we've got a lot, 20 minutes out of these past 2 episodes of Worf, but like, I feel like, and this is not a complaint, I feel like he's being written by lower deck writers. Like, as some humans say, I'm working on myself. Like, it's all like, there's almost like one-liner after one-liner. The beheadings are on Wednesday. Like, it's not a complaint. I mean, it's droll, and Worf has always been used, at least in some TNG, especially in TNG movies, as the butt of humor, unfortunately, in many times. But I feel like he's like, okay, we're going to keep that, but could make it better. And also he's going to be doing all kind of, cool action
Ninja
stuff.
Worf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out the tag, the line from the trailer where Worf says he's a pacifist, that was a tease. That was I'm like, he doesn't seem very passive, which is fine. I like the balance of passivity he has. It's more like lack of crazy rage, more like a focused killing machine. Worf so far is pretty good. It's not like, we haven't seen a ton of it, of course. We've just seen he cuts off the Ferengi's head and then he just has a conversation with Raffi. And so
You mean Raffaella?
That's right. That's what he calls her. Yeah.
Full legal names now.
And going back, I watched the clip from the earlier episode after we knew it was Worf. And I'm like, that sounds like Worf dialogue. He calls her a warrior and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, I can see it. I didn't think of it at the time, and I didn't know who it was, but it was a decent reveal. And I think Worf is being handled okay so far, but we'll have to see what happens when he gets on the Titan or however that switchover happens. So
yeah, when I watched these episodes the second time, it was interesting watching the dialogue of the handler, knowing it's Worf. Because obviously you don't know that the first time around. And I'm like, yeah, I could see him saying every single one of these, single sentence lines. You read it in his voice when you watch it again, every time that she's talking to her handler. But I think that's like the antithesis of what it is, though, Philip. I think you nailed it, where it's like, it's Lower Decks Worf in live action. I think that, like, that's not a bad thing. It's just it's a good recognition where it's got the humor and it's, well written, but it's also not animated Worf. So, we get all the goodness of the well written Klingons we had from that the Lower Decks ensigns episode, where we had all the different ensigns and the different ships, but all funneled into this one character. And eventually, we will see obviously more of Worf, but I'm enjoying the kind of, the gang's not all back together quite yet. It's not quite the Defiant happened to be flying through this system, so of course they're going to come and save the Titan. It's like, no, we'll eventually get them back together. We just got to let the story unfold naturally.
Now, because Darren, I assume you know the answer. So, but like Daniel, I feel like we've been lied to potentially, because in the promo before Picard season 3 started, it seemed, I feel like the picture what we saw of Worf, but maybe I'm making this up in my head, was Captain Worf. But what he has told us is that he is a subcontractor, I believe was his language. So, which I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound Starfleet because I think Raffi asked him, and at least if he is, he's definitely being sketchy about it. And so I don't know who's he working for. I don't know.
I mean, I assumed when he was talking about it, I just thought that he was worked for. He liaised with like the Klingons and between Starfleet, maybe like if he wasn't working directly for them, he was like sort of like Klingon intelligence sort of officer guy, maybe. But it could be that he's something else. I don't know.
It'd be funny because I know against Klingons, at least this would be the propaganda. Klingons do not hide in the shadows. We are direct and. What is their intelligence agency called? Like, I know they would say, "Oh, we don't have one." No, we do. And so, like, we know there's the Tal Shiar and the what's the Klingon? It's
like the Bloody Dagger or something. Yeah. Well,
and the ninjas.
I think I don't remember which episode talks about because again, Klingons are all about honor and stuff, and someone
so they say.
Someone I think once called them out on like sneak attacks and stuff like that, and they're like, "There's nothing more honorable than winning." It's like, so we say we're honorable, we say like we're not sneaky or stealthy. It's like, but we also want to win, so we're gonna do whatever it takes to win. But and I think it's good we get a little bit of more of the story. We learn about the portal weapon and all that stuff. That mystery's gone. It's done its bit, and now we've moved on in the story. What about the portal weapon, Philip?
I had to laugh, and I assume it was meant to be cool, unless it's supposed to be funny. If it's supposed to be funny, I laughed. If it's not supposed to be funny, I still laughed. In this last episode, No Win Scenario, when the strike, it's a weird name. Anyway, the woman, Amanda Plummer, I don't know what her real name is, or character name. But anyway, she's like, all right, get rid of the portal device. And they're like, okay, doot. And you just see flipping to the screen. And you see, I didn't even pause it. I know it said it. Daystrom Industry right on the thing as it flung out through the camera. I'm like, God, you didn't need to do that. I just, you could have pressed the button. I would have taken your word for it. This is like wearing your 3D glasses as the comes at you.
Oh, it felt like one of those effects. Yeah.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay, I wasn't looking at the screen when that happened, so
it's definitely a blink and miss it moment. Although I do feel they do describe it, like the fact that the portal weapon deals with gravimetric things, like they can't go deep in the nebula with it attached. So it's like they obviously need a reason for them to not continue to have this super powerful weapon. So I'm on board with that. Like
I thought that they just shut it down, but I guess it makes more sense.
No, she ejected the components that were bolted onto her ship.
But at the end of it, does it matter? Is she still alive? Is that ship still around? Is it clear from what happens?
Got a asteroid thrown at it and got massive damage. So she's not dead.
Titan got a ship thrown at it. It's still working.
Yeah, she's heavily damaged. She's out of that encounter. But
should we just talk about her real quick?
Sure. The changeling captain.
What is going on there?
Is she a changeling?
She cuts off her hand and it turns into goo.
So, that's not her. That's clearly not her because she changes her personality when it leaves her. She's being controlled by a changeling, which is the strangest. Which is the strangest thing because changelings don't need to do that. That's their whole shtick. You can just be a changeling.
It could be. I was under the impression that, it's a cool technique where how do you visualize a changeling talking to the link or some communicating and cutting off a portion and then talking to that portion directly? Like it kind of almost is kind of like a hive mind of some sort.
No. But I don't think she's a changeling. She's a person.
She cuts off her hands and her hand is changing material.
So she's having the conversation with herself?
Yeah. But again, I think that's more just narratively to be able to have. Otherwise, like, is she, what is she talking to?
The changeling.
Because I don't understand.
That's connected to her body.
It's like, is this an acting choice or do I not know what's going on? Which is it's probably the second one. Because it seemed like, oh, she's this big, bad villain. And then like, she's like, all right, I guess we can't go in. Let's do that. I'm like, what happened? What would happen to this
I think
person?
it's meant to convey. I think it's meant to convey that she's being controlled. Like she.
I mean,
she's
it could
clearly
be.
not that bombastic personality. Like
I think we don't have all the pieces. Like I still don't have all the pieces of knowing like what she is. I'm just guessing she's a changeling because she cuts her hand off and it's changing material.
Well, that is a changeling, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's
Honestly, I didn't know what was going on. I like your explanation, Dan, because I was like,
I know, it's not a bad
changeling
thought.
hand, and then it was like
Yeah.
a rubber chicken she was talking to, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going with it.
And it's just so the idea. If maybe I'm wrong. I guess I could be wrong, but
No, it's a good hypothesis though.
it seems
like
pretty
it.
clear to me. But the idea that a changeling would do this is silly, because a changeling wouldn't need to control a person. A changeling could just be the person, and then you cut that. That's the whole thing. That's their shtick. Why would they do this? So it doesn't. That makes no sense.
Well,
but I guess we don't have.
I think I'm still under the impression that she is a changeling, and it was just a narrative choice on visualizing them communicating with each other. I saw someone posted a thought, and their thought was, they were more talking about the changeling we see that's on the Titan and is going through the, vents and stuff. And they were trying to explain, why does it look different? Which obviously is the legitimate reason.
Question.
Are we doing a Klingon thing again?
I mean, that's a silly question.
Well, it was more like special effects have improved in the last, 30 years.
That's the obvious, yeah.
There's the answer.
But it led to them thinking, what if the virus that Starfleet gave the changelings, like, altered them and hurt them and damaged like the way they can't necessarily super goo. It has this kind of, tenderized meat look. Like they still have the ability to fully mimic a person, but they, So anyway, I kind of like that thought of, this, obviously this is a splinter faction that kind of got left behind enemy lines or something. But they're not doing okay. Like they are radical and messed up, and I'm able to give them leeway, like the hand thing and stuff like that, because this isn't the Great Link. This isn't the entire founder species. This is a cell.
Yeah, we should talk about that, because that seems dumb to me. This is
I was going to say
of dissent.
I can't remember DS9, so I look to you too. Was there ever like a rival or a different link, Great Link? Because like the Borg and Voyager, there was like the collective. There was not that what they were called. You know what I'm talking about? It was like in the early Voyager, like they formed their own people, and I was like, okay, there's two kind of Borg you could say, and then of course Picard season two gave us the 3 Borg. But anyway, I was like, was there like another like other Great Link? Because it seems to me. And look, it's only
there's only one Great Link,
because like they
had the copyright of the name.
How can you have rebels in
you can't? Because you can't. It makes no sense. That's why this bothers me, because literally, like I'm in it right now, and they repeat their famous motto over and over and over again about one changeling never ever hurting another, meaning that they were all hive minded. They were all of one mind for however long, thousands of years, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And now all of a sudden there's this weird splinter group. I don't know. It just feels.
Well, I mean, they do seem to be defining it as. I mean, again, you're totally right, Daniel. And based off everything we've seen, it doesn't make sense that they would have a splinter group. But I'm still giving the writers a benefit of the doubt, because there are certain things like, okay, they lost the war. Like, okay, that we don't know if they've ever lost on that scale before. And it approaches that topic of, are all the changelings agreeing with each other? Like, and what if there were changelings that didn't agree with the decision to end the war? And then you also have the physical proximity. I mean, you have the female shapeshifter saying like, I've been away from the link too long. Like it definitely has a feeling like the reason they are all super collective is because they spend 99% of their time on their homeworld in a pile of goo together. So of course they're all linked up. But if you have this group that's been in the Alpha Quadrant and has not been able to go back, and eventually they dissent enough where they're like, we don't want to go back. We're going to do our own thing. Like I could see the writers, going in that direction and being like, this is a group, a cell of changelings which I mean, is a great narrative because it makes them really dangerous because we don't know how they're going to act because they're different than every changeling.
So there's a line that Worf says in episode 4. 3. Sorry, I'm trying to get it all together.
Numbers don't matter. Just yeah.
The one where he's in the most. And the line, and you can interpret it how you want. The line he tells Raffaella is like, "I have a contact in the Great Link."
In the Great Link, yeah.
It was contacts, preposition, Great Link. I don't know the specific wordage, where one, of course, would think he's saying Odo, which, of course...
I believe he's saying Odo. Like, it's the implied...
Yeah.
It's the only changing we know, so...
Well, they actually showed him, too. He was on a pad.
Yeah.
Showed his bucket, and he was on a pad, so...
You imagine Odo writing up, like, the article on changelings. Changelings enjoy a bucket.
None of your business. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Well, I also had to laugh at... I mean, I get it, but, like, some of these, like, that's kind of stupid. Like, there's only one type of bucket they make in this
that was
world.
so silly. That was so silly.
Like, I think a container is the large. It's not like a bucket.
True.
It's the only thing they have to use.
But why is that bad to show? Because that's
I found it.
That's keeping continuity. So why is that bad?
Well, it's only
fine. One
person has used it. It's like every changeling we've ever met. It's like we've met one changeling who used the bucket. Because I also and look, this is not my criticism, but like episode 4, I felt like too much was in it, but whatever. But like 7 on the hunt for the bucket, like that's her subplot. 7 hunts for the bucket. Like, okay, or like, oh, she's got to find a changeling. Like, no one has ever mentioned blood test, by the way. Like, that was the first thing that came to my mind. No one has ever said that word. But anyway, okay, she's gonna have to look, and she's gonna test, and then it looks like she walks into the second room she goes into. There it is, bucket. I'm like, well, that took 10 minutes. All right. Well.
And then she walks.
Remember, she's checking the quarters of the person that they know. She checked. That's the transporter chief's quarters, who is the person that's been impersonating a changeling. So obviously that is the starting point of your search, because that's where they would be able to hang out and rest with. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, that's Ensign so-and-so's quarters. So that was my impression,
okay.
that it wasn't like a random. Yeah.
But she doesn't go down. She's randomly going down corridors and is like, I'm trying to find if there's any bad guys around here. I hope there's no bad guys. And then
for reference, pulls up the pad that shows bucket, holds up bucket. That's the same one. All right.
I mean, again, it had a bit of a
changeling ever.
It had a bit of a Star Trek 6 vibe where it's like they're looking in the quarters of Samuels and whatever.
At least it had a misdirect in it in Star Trek 6. He put in the guy's locker and
True, but and then in 6 they also had the let's announce, and they kind of also did the same thing where they announced like hey, so and so that are going to be alone in nacelle control, just let me know how it's going, and then obviously to lure the changeling out.
I don't have if I sat down and thought about it, I might. I don't have a suggestion, but just as an audience member, this was jarring. Now, how else would you do it? I look for suggestions, and maybe there isn't another way. But during that 5 minutes before that scene, I forget the events, but something like Shaw or 7, one of them, like, I think it's 7, Captain Riker. And then the next, like, she goes, Captain Riker. Then Captain Riker says, you clip to him saying, and that's all. So, like, oh, did I miss something? Like, it wasn't like a Captain Riker, I have to speak with you a moment. It was sort of like, there's a conversation that we've clipped out. Right. It was because I told him not to, but I don't it was such weirdly edited. I don't know if anyone noticed.
That's true. I didn't notice. Weird. I think I just was able to piece together. Obviously, something is being discussed that we don't need to see narratively, otherwise it spoils the reveal. of their plan, that they have a plan of don't send anyone down here at all because I'm going to assume
it's like it's a conversation when like I say hello and then you cut to Daniel saying goodbye, Philip, and you're like, wait, what? What? Okay.
No, you're not wrong, but yeah.
Seven, not interested in learning information from the changeling, murders him immediately. I was like, okay, it's a dangerous enemy. I understand, but
I mean, they already shot at him first time, and he went into the ductwork, so he's just gonna pop out somewhere else and cause more trouble.
That doesn't sound like a very Star
There's
Trek
nothing
answer.
on that pad that says how to contain a changeling. It just says bucket and that's
and changeling.
I had to go to Shaw to figure out. You should ask them questions. That's not on the pad.
Yeah.
Or
like
put them in a force field.
The plan was just to shoot it. Like there's no force field. Like they were literally placing a trap, and they didn't have like
a trap.
Thing.
It wasn't it wasn't a capture trap. It was a kill trap.
It was a kill trap. Okay.
Well, it's also like, I mean, and again, this is a nitpick. It's a nitpick, but like, you get the scene, and like, audience can vary. I mean, I knew by the time probably, I felt like the way they're filming it, I knew like 2 seconds in, that's a changeling. Obviously, that's
right.
Not really LaForge.
When Lieutenant LaForge comes in, yeah, Ensign, don't promote her. And so, but like you're zeroing on Captain Shaw, and it's like the music, da, 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 and then Seven gets her. But I was waiting for Shaw to do something. Honestly, like I get that it was a trap and he's the bait, but like it seemed like he was like, I don't know. I just felt like he was supposed to do something, and it was just like, I'm just supposed to sit here and hope Seven shows up at the right time. All right, let's talk about Shaw for a second, because we get a major reveal on his past, why he is such a jerk to Seven and Picard. I mean, and it kind of tracks that he has a lot of baggage to unpack from the Battle of Wolf 359. It's the star date that everyone wants to remember, apparently. So let's start with Daniel for your thoughts, as I'm seeing the look on Philip's face is telling me a little bit about where he's going with this.
Hey, here's the thing. I love Shaw. I really do.
I do too.
Are you quoting him? I love Shaw. I really do, but no.
But no. I mean, he's easily my favorite character out of probably all of Picard, all 3 seasons so far. We do learn that he's got Ben Sisko's backstory, which is fine because I'm sure there are plenty of people who do.
Except for not as a commander, as an ensign, so it's even more traumatic.
And so it's great. It doesn't. I will say, just off the bat, doesn't excuse him for being a dick to Seven, not calling her what she wants. But it is a reason. So they did put that out there. I do like him confronting Picard about it. And Picard I'm kind of split, like how Picard responded. Cause he just kind of lets him tear into it, which is fine. I think that's cool for him. And he just leaves. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. I kind of get it.
I kind of get that part too, because he's probably experienced other Starfleet crew members who have had this same issue. And it's like, really, they're just venting, and nothing he can say is going to be like, oh, but I actually had no control. And it's like, no, just don't say anything, Picard. Like you just listen and leave, like you said, Daniel.
Yeah. So, anyways, Shaw's great. Now we know, he's still a jerk. I mean, he's just a jerk.
I think you nailed it though. Like it was a great reveal on his character, but it obviously didn't excuse what he has done, but it gave a justification. Those can be different. Okay, Philip, you get to talk. So.
No, I mean, here's my thing, and I'm not trying to like make fun of anyone. Reveal, really? 10 minutes in. Oh, Wolf 359 survivor. I mean, is this supposed to be a twist? Like, okay, he's a jerk. I mean, it's not even a jerk to Picard and Riker. I don't even need that. Could never shown that scene. Hates Seven. Okay. Now, Wolf 359 hates Borg. Okay. I mean, like, no, and I guess it's just to me, it wasn't like, okay.
You're saying there's no surprise in this reveal?
Well, yeah. And I get what, It seems to me.
But remember, you have a Star Trek podcast, Philip. You are a level of lore expert.
Picard's for new viewers. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Like, I think the average Trekkie would think that was an interesting part of a backstory.
Well, I guess this is my challenge, and this is me. Oh, yeah, obviously, y'all, and that's fine. I don't get how this guy becomes a captain. Like, are they just that hard up? They needed some captains, because this guy just has. Because I don't want to make fun, and I'm not, of any traumatic experience or whatever. But like, do we have a psychological profile of people who can take command? Because if he's running, if he has this reaction to X-Borg, you're going to be serving with them, buddy. Where's the counselor on board a ship? Ever talking
there
to this guy?
aren't a lot of X-Borg. Just off the top of my head, there aren't many.
Well, they were all in the big old,
we know
cube that got blown up.
Two, and we know of two, and they both showed up on his ship. So
that is
just
true.
bad. That's just bad. I feel like he is the kind of person. To answer your question, Philip, I feel like he is the kind of person that just falls into it. Like I get the sort of concept I get with the Titan is not. He says it's an exploratory vessel. I don't feel like it's a big important ship or anything like that, and he probably just sort of fell into it.
It's the Orville of Starfleet ships. It's a mid-level science vessel with lots of impulse engines.
Because I get what they're trying to do, and they don't need my permission, but it's fine. We want a foil to Picard and Riker. That's fine. That's a great thing. I can see why you would want to do that. But he's, to me, incompetent. Like, as a captain, because, like, especially in this latest episode, he's there in the holographic bar with his crew who are all like facing death. And he's like, oh, hey guys, like, no, you're the captain of this ship. A, you're walking around. Maybe you should go take command. B, like, you have no connection to anyone. Like, you're not a good captain. Like, literally, the job description is to be good with people.
And I think you're right. I think in a lot of ways, he's not a good captain, at least compared to our main TNG, veterans. But that's okay. Like, I don't expect every captain especially modern Trek. Heck,
well, like, there you go.
Like, not. The modern Trek is not written where every single captain is a paragon of virtue. It's just not.
Well, I think they should be. Because I think that's the aspirational part of it. Because I don't want to be like, oh, modern Trek set, but I will say modern Trek. By that I mean this 21st century, not all of it, but like the real action, live action Trek tends to want to reflect modern society, whereas Trek was an aspirational future that used modern issues in that world. Whereas this one's like, this is like the real world. Real people cuss. Yeah, but that's not. I don't want the real world. I want an aspirational world where we're better than
Philip,
what we are.
No,
Picard's swore the hardest of all the captains here, and there are lots of captains. So I'm just.
No, I think you're right though, Philip. I think that is a tonal shift in Star Trek, and you're not wrong, and that's not wrong to want an aspirational future rather than a modern future.
I don't think it's fair to say that, because there was that crazy captain in TOS. There was Captain Ransom. We've seen lots of
Equinox
of flawed captains in Star Trek. This is not like this is not the first time.
He was so evil, I didn't want to learn his name.
I agree with you, Philip, that our hero captains should be like aspirational and like Picard or Kirk, like that sort of like great, fantastic, principled characters. But I don't know. I'm fine with just a secondary character, especially in this scenario where it's like there's already too many people on the bridge. Get all these people off the bridge shouting different orders. I was like, oh man, every single time somebody kept that was that one scene when they go, Captain, what are we supposed to do? And all three of them look up, and I'm like, nah, this is chaos. You need to get these people off the bridge, man. Like, this is wild. But I feel bad for the people.
Because I would respect. Well, let me go back to what y'all were talking about. As during the scene between him and Picard. And I don't know. This is just if you have that trauma from Wolf 359, and look, they all do. I'm not an expert on trauma. It has been 25 years. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, I'm not saying you get over it. You lost a loved one. You were in 9/11 and survived. You're not. That's always going to be with you. But like in the 25th century, I mean, this is my argument of the aspirational future. This is what this scene says. We don't treat mental health. People just deal with it just like they do in modern times. Like you're in Starfleet that has mental health and counselors. Like this is the future we should aspire, that we're going to have these tools of how to process. Now you can have some outlying stuff, but then also as to Picard's reaction, what I thought is like he has the tools. Like Deanna has walked him like, you're going to get these reactions, and this is just the best way. You listen, let them say, and then but you don't have to take that trauma. You can walk away. Like you said, you don't. And so I feel like this is like the 80th person that's ever come up to him to done this. He's like, yeah, the steps that Troy told me. Okay, listen, you acknowledge their pain, and then I walk away because I don't have to take this.
It is that. So the whole scene, the entire. God, that entire holodeck scene is so bizarre, right? So bizarre. Picard literally has to say there's a secondary power source. So people are not like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah,
guys?
it's true. I mean, we all kind of knew that.
I laugh because that's the Voyager explanation. Like, you don't have to explain.
Yeah.
You don't even have to ask. I got it.
Shouldn't we all be working together to try to fix this problem now?
Shouldn't we? Well, all the captains have given up. Every single person in command has given up at this point. So we're done.
Yeah, and it's like, so that whole scene, like, and I kind of agree with you, but it's shortcut, right? It's just a narrative shortcut, so we can learn. Look,
we built this 10 forward set. We're going to use it, and you're going to like it.
Okay. Can I just start? I know I'm this all right. The 10 forward. This is such a stupid thing, but I'm going to go ahead. Tell me the timeline of Picard discovering this 10 forward bar, because Picard led me to believe the whole series.
No.
That in season 2, right? Yeah, season 2, he's like, oh, this is where Guinan's been the whole time. Oh, okay, Guinan, good to see you. It's been a long time since we... According to every flashback in season 3 Picard, like, he's been going to this bar the past 10, 15 years. Him and Riker just have drinks there all the time. Well, like, which one is it?
The problem is, okay, yes, you're absolutely right. The problem is you're assuming anything in season 1 and 2 matter, which we've already established. We have moved past season 1 and 2. But yes, you're not wrong.
I hate 10 forward, the real bar. I hate it so much. It's such a dumb concept. From the beginning, it was stupid. It was literally 10 forward on the ship. That's why it was called 10 forward.
Look, it's 10 forward, the cross street intersection that by chance, Avenue. Of course. That she also had in the past before she served on the Enterprise. See, don't make me think about season 2 and previous seasons, Daniel. It doesn't make sense. Well, let's talk about.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to move on to Jack Crusher because that's another big reveal that we've had in the last couple seasons. Surprise, he's your son, and I guess the timing works. And we get a lot of Riker / see, now I'm doing it too because I'm trying to think about like why in this episode Riker was so. I left because I was so distraught about my son dying. I'm like, didn't your son die like a while ago? Like, I think it was established. It's been a couple years. Like, you've had another kid since then. Like, you make it sound like it was this year.
The thing to make that work. And look, I'm if they hired me to be a writer it's not going to happen, but for multiple reasons. For Picard season 4, because there's the season, but like, oh, you're going to be a writer for season 4. Like, you're going to have to retcon because I want to set this up, but it has to make sense so you have to retcon. So like, in a world where you could plan for everything, they would have set this up in season 1 when we saw Riker and Troy. They didn't have to make a big deal out of it, but like, maybe Riker's a little despondent. They're still there with Kestra, but he's a little off. You don't have to make a meal out of it, and then that way in season 3,
but they did make a meal about it. He was pizza bacon chef, super
the happiest guy in the world.
Exactly,
when we saw him.
Exactly. He got to say Red Alert again. Everybody was happy. I mean,
again, I'm not a trauma person, and I'm sure it comes in waves. God forbid, Darren, I know you never want to think about that possibility of losing a child, and so I'm sure it could come and go. But yeah, you got to make it make sense.
I think it really comes down to the fact that these are 3 totally separate stories, really, season 1, 2, and 3. Like, they're not yeah, they're self-referential to a degree, but this isn't some grand plan. So maybe that's what we get with episodic television. I mean, I guess we have nothing to complain about. We said we wanted it, but
as I'm told, this is like the last 3 Star Wars movies. So.
But hey, to go back to Jack,
yeah, let's go back to Jack
because I want to talk about this, and it's something I've been wanting to talk about before they brought it up on the show. By the way,
Jack.
This was bothering me so much. This was bothering me, and they brought it up on the show kind of in a joking way, but they still didn't answer the question. Why on earth? We haven't even talked about Beverly. We haven't even talked about this entire situation. But why on earth did she name this kid Jack Crusher? It bothers me so insanely much that she named him that. She didn't even give Picard the chance. And then she names him Jack Crusher.
No.
Why did she do
Jack
this?
Jean-Luc Crusher. You didn't hear the whole name. It's every person she's ever slept with is the whole name.
Oh, then we got to put that ghost guy, Candle Ghost. Man.
Yeah, Jack Jean-Luc Candle Crusher. No.
Like every single time they say his name, I'm like, no. This was either was it mean spirited? Was it like? It bothers me. Why would you?
It'd been funny just to add a 2-second beat to that in episode 4. Like, yeah, I know it's weird that she named me after, and they just sit there, go, yeah, it's weird.
Oh, no, he
Anyway,
does. He says he does.
Well, he says I would name it the same, and I'm like, really? You would?
Yeah,
have? Okay, sure. Not after your dead brother or any of the dead
nephew?
people on
Renee?
Renee. Yeah. I mean.
Why not Wesley the Second? Listen, anything would have been better. Steve, just name him something. Just anything would have been better.
I'm not here to make Beverly the worst person in the world.
It'd be Wesley A. The second Wesley.
It's a refit. You don't understand. But anyway, like, I'm not trying to make Beverly the worst person in the world, but like, she's doing up absolutely everything. Like, secret baby named not after you at all. Like, how many other, like, did she like kill his dog while she, like, how many, what else?
She doesn't want the space alimony. No. Although I will say, I in the reveal episode, which I think was last week, I that was amazingly acted. I mean, you can negate like enjoying what they were discussing and the fact that he's the son and all that, but the no talking acting going on between Gates and Patrick was really, really good because they're saying a ton without saying anything. So I enjoyed that scene where, and then after that he's. It's very much a to quote Galaxy Quest. It's a Fred Kwan zip up the like. Okay, I'm gonna do it now. Like, because after he learns that, he snaps into action. He's like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna now we're not gonna like handing him over is not on the table anymore. He's my son, and once he learns that, he reacts as he should. As a father.
I feel like you should do that for anyone. I won't get into that whole thing like, only because he's my son will I fight for this Federation citizen that we're all sworn to protect as Starfleet officers. No? Okay.
I mean,
Starfleet officers are like showing him daggers. Again, this would be my problem. That Starfleet officers, like, crewman Shell is like, turn yourself over, you moron. Why are you making us do this? I'm like, this is not how Starfleet officers act. Like, what the heck? Oh, boy.
Well, modern Starfleet officers.
I know.
Yes.
What's so special about Jack, and why is it stupid? Because I can tell it's going to be dumb.
You see, this is my, and again, this is a preference, and this is not only modern Trek, but modern TV, which is, that's fine if you like it. It's not the mystery box. So, like, I don't think you need it. Like, just like they could episode. I mean, you don't have to tell us the first episode, but like episode 3 or 4. This is what we find out why Jack is seeing visions. Why is this special?
They did. Oh, you mean that mystery box? Sorry, I thought you meant the mystery of him being his son. You mean the vision? The vision thing.
Yeah. And so like, and then there's things that you can put in the way that prevent us from. But you don't have to hold the whole mystery until episode 9, and then it's like we're going to be disappointed. Daniel and I, we're always disappointed. That like, oh, it's because he's and we're like, okay, why hold that from us for 9 episodes? Just tell us, and we could have played with it. I don't know.
And he knows. So here's the thing. The end of the last episode was him having those weird visions. He knows why they're coming after him. Why isn't he telling someone? Like, literally, you're putting hundreds of people's lives at risk for whatever it is that you have, whatever special, whatever something, your stupid visions or whatever the stupid it's going to be. Why is he putting those people, including his mom, he's putting his mom at risk, and now his father as well, his very old man father. And it just bothers me. Why tease this like this? It's annoying.
Is Jack Crusher the main character?
He might be.
Maybe really just all about him. And like,
Could be.
I just feel like the more I think about it, like the only development, I mean, and I'm exaggerating, the only character development is like, you know what, Jack needs to learn to connect with people. Because I feel like that's the whole theme. Like, you know, he's alone, he's with his mom, but now he's learning that he needs to depend on people. He has a dad that he can reach out to. And the fellow crew, he should learn to, because that was the end of season 4, or the end of episode 4, Picard's voice echoing in Jack's head. Oh, you should depend on your crew. And he looks around and, oh, I should depend. And then he's going to open up the next episode and he's going to be, I'm like, I didn't know Jack Crusher was going to be the main character of this series, but okay. I mean, it's called Picard. So, I mean, it's not like they're fooling us. You know, it's not like they're lying to us.
Really?
We didn't tell you which Picard.
Did he go to did he go to 10 Forward Bar with his hoodie on? And because his dad, that he knows full well does not even know of his existence, said some line about having Starfleet being his only family, then he got all sad and didn't talk to him for another 5 years?
Yeah,
Did he really do that?
For anyone out there looking for a lost parent, which is, I'm sure, you know, not a fun thing. If they don't know about you and you ask, is family important to you? And they're like, no, you're like, I guess I shouldn't talk to them. They don't know about you, okay? Once you tell someone, they have to adjust their life. And then they'll be like, oh, yes, no, now I want to have a family because I didn't realize that was an option.
Yeah. Jack just bothers me because nothing about his existence makes sense to me at all. Like, it's just, and then of course now they're going to add this mystery on at the end, and it's like, this is just silly. I get it. They had to, whatever story they're trying to tell, they had to. Why do it this way? Because now you make Beverly, to me, not telling Picard at all is a stain on Beverly. And it's like, that's a really crappy thing to do to someone that you worked with for 30 years or whatever. Like, I don't see an excuse for that. She was on the Enterprise. Like, she woke up one day and like, wow, this is kind of dangerous. I shouldn't have. Your son was on the Enterprise with Captain Picard for years. You were fine with it. Why is it all of a sudden too dangerous now for Captain Picard to have a kid? This makes no sense to me. Sorry, I'm soapboxing, but
well, like, and I don't know if it was in like the previously on, and maybe I missed or making this up, but it was like, oh, you know, they want him because he's Picard's kid. I'm like, Picard's right there. Like, you just attack Picard if you want. Like, you don't have to go after the kid to get to Picard. Like, he's right there. Just fire a torpedo at him. Like, you know. I don't know. Can I ask one question? Just, and this is a preference thing.
Only one question.
That's fine. So we're doing the flashback thing every episode, right? Apparently. Like, I feel like the series 3 has turned into Psych, where we're going to get like little Gus and little Sean at the beginning of every episode that tells you, hi, this is the flashback. How are you doing? I'm going to tell you the theme for today's episode. And in case you don't get it, I'll come back at the end of the episode. Don't worry, I'll be back. And then end of the episode, flashback. By the way, I don't know if you got today's theme of the episode, but this is the theme of the episode. I'm like, everything you're doing, like everything I've seen in a flashback so far, A, either don't need, or 2, you could do in the present day and still have the same impact. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to save you money, Paramount and CBS. Don't have to build a whole de-aging. Didn't need to de-age him. Could just had a conversation. Riker's like, hey, you know, when my son was born, Didn't have to do that, all that.
But Philip, if not for the flashback, we would have not learned that Picard faced off with a Hirogen at one point.
Okay. I mean, you could have.
I thought that was a cool little.
And the present
cool
day.
That's true. And they talked about the metaphor Tamarians.
Oh yeah, he talked about
that was cool.
Could have just had Geordi's daughter saying, "Hey, Admiral Picard, can you tell me about the time?"
Yeah. I mean, again, there's other ways they could do it. It's just how we're getting it. But yeah. So let's see. With this one ended, I'm trying to think. This kind of felt like not a pause, but like I feel like we're through the first act. Like,
well, my wife
everything's kind of wrapped up
at the end of the episode. Is that the end? And I was like, no, it's only episode 4. But again, this is the mid-season break in episode 4.
which it's a 10-episode season.
Yeah.
So, we're going to.
Well, you always have a 2-part finale. So that means we have 3 more episodes.
Probably.
Two.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we were ever going to get out of the nebula. So I'm glad to see that we are out of the nebula.
Yeah. We were in the nebula a while.
I was like, okay, I get it. We're here, but we've done it. Let's.
This is the nebula part of the series, and then
right,
which is beautiful and turned into teeny tiny jellyfish,
space jellyfish. That's right.
I know. Some people had been thinking that the nebula was like the alternate link, which could have been an interesting way to go. I mean, it wouldn't have made sense for it to be exploding into jellyfish, but. They made very clear that it had a biological element of it.
Did these those pulsing things? Was that in earlier episodes? Because I don't remember it. Other than
a little bit, but not as much as later. Yeah. I think he had one or two, but it wasn't like Beverly didn't recognize it until this episode.
I appreciate folks who say that ending with the space jellyfish. It's very TNG and very Star Trek. And I agree. I don't disagree. And that it's all very signs and Beverly was figuring things out. My challenge is there's like 12 other things going on in this episode. And so like if there were 2 or 3 things and one of them was like Beverly does a science and we discovered new life, I think it's more powerful. But I'm like, yes, they discovered new life, but there's also like 10 other things I have to like pay attention to where they're spinning the place. And I'm like, oh God, like let it breathe, folks. Like, they didn't even have Worf and
if only they had like
this.
26 or 25 episodes, they could let it breathe as you spread it out.
Maybe cut out the nebula for just anyway. But like to me and again this is a complaint. It was that it seemed like the ship existed like in the Voyager episode where they're in different times. Because I felt like despite being on the same ship, everyone was not aware of what everyone else was doing. So it's like Captain Riker, I feel like, 7, you're on secret mission to find a changeling, and I won't worry about it for the rest of the mission. Like, I mean, I'd be worried there's a changeling going on while I'm trying to do the rest of this thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just like nobody's aware of like what everyone else is doing. I feel like we should all be on the same page. Let's all get in the conference room, get on the same page. But like, no, we're just all going to do our own thing. We'll check in at the end of the episode. Hopefully it'll all work out.
Fortunately, it did. All 3 storylines.
Yeah. I also, and last complaint, not last one. Because again, I'm not a Shaw fan, but I feel like he could assert himself because it's like, oh, I'm just here to be a jerk. And I'm like, I mean, that's not really a personality trait, but I guess he himself says that's what he is, a jerk instead of a personality. At the end, when everything seems solved, I was waiting for Captain Riker to be like, because Captain Shaw's standing right there on the bridge to be like, Captain Shaw, keeping your chair warm. And then Captain Shaw sits back in the seat. He's back in command, but it's just so like left hanging. And I'm like, he doesn't care about being the cap. That's my problem with Shaw. He doesn't care about being the captain. He doesn't care about his crew. He doesn't care about anything.
That's the problem with, like I said, having so many people. You have to have Riker there, so the right Captain Riker. But so if you're going to do that, you have to sideline Shaw. You just have to. So you do it, I guess, through indifference, right? He has no legs. He's like, fine, you can do it. I don't care. You have it. So you got to do it somehow. And I guess it makes sense. But I too was waiting for that moment where it's like he did the same thing that Shaw did to him, where he's like,
I think again, I haven't rewatched all of the episodes. I've been watching them now in order. I think that happens like next episode. Like I think they just didn't have time for it in this one, but I can't quite recall.
We needed to. God, it's like I'm not arguing with it, but it seems very depressing. Their reason of like the reason we put a holodeck on a separate energy grid is when everything's about to go to heck and everyone's going to die. We like to have this fake thing that people can just like look at before they die and the end comes. I'm like, God, that's morbid. All the crew comes in. Yep, we're here to die. I'm like, oh my God. Like, is no one
obviously not everybody. They said it was a ship of 500 people. So, I mean, maybe it's got a handful of holodecks, but it's the size of like the original Enterprise. It's not that big.
So it's like the scene before the scene happens is, Picard and Jack are in there. there's like a queue outside of the holodeck, and everyone's like, should we go in? And like, you asked, I'm not going to ask. Look, you knew his dad. I mean, I don't know, but should we go in? There's like 12, 15 crew outside the holodeck. I'm like, I don't know. We need to wait to die.
I need my therapy holodeck. It's like, I had this booked. He didn't even look at the schedule. He just went right in and turned on his program.
And then instead of dying in the holodeck, you just die in line for the holodeck. Which
that's so sad.
It should be terrible.
I think that's...
Maybe we'll learn that at the Battle of Wolf 359 is when they were queued up for the holodeck, but it failed because it didn't have an independent power source. So since then, all Starfleet, Wolf 359 is the catalyst for that policy.
Yeah, but I guess that's in some ways, not to go on about it, is that's my complaint. Like in this episode 4, like there's no one like, we're going to find a way. We're going to keep on working. We're going to find the way. No, we're all going to die. That was everyone's attitude.
Is kind of a difference. Yeah, that is a difference in this episode, especially because it comes from Riker. Which you're not wrong. Like that is very different for Star Trek, but it is also nice that it is something different for Star Trek. Like it is like give us one episode where everybody kind of gives up.
But like it's every episode so far.
Yeah, okay. Well.
I mean, I don't want to be like, but like it's been every episode. It's such a dreary series. Like honestly, Worf, which is well written. I mean, I want to emphasize that well written Worf is the only humor we've gotten this whole series, this whole season. I mean, I know it's only episode 4, so episode 5 may be a laugh fest for all I know. But like, there's no optimism. There's no like, yeah, it's all people sniping at each other, and I'm just like, I just want because even DS9, which is not my favorite series. But like even though they're conflict, they're still on optimistic glow of like, the characters. They're complex. They're just not arguing to argue. They have characters who are in conflict with other characters. And it's not just like, you have that view, I have that view, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I have a reason because I'm this character. And there's a reason. This is just like, Riker, I'm assigning you, run away. Picard, you get attack. Now fight. Like, why does Picard want to attack? I have no reason why he wants to attack.
He was pretty aggressive. I'm not sure why he was so angry, but...
Well, we'll see how this series rolls out, and if Philip's tomato meter goes down even more, or is able to pull up as being crushed by the gravity well of the season. But any final thoughts, though, on the first few episodes? Because we'll just continue on next week as we cover episode 5, which I think we have a name for.
I'm sure we do. I mean, I'll just say,
Imposter. I wonder
I wonder what they're talking about.
I mean, I'm enjoying 7. Not that we get a lot from her. I'm enjoying, to an extent, Captain Riker. I'm glad Beverly is there and gets something. Though, honestly, even now, she's...
I mean, this whole show is Captain Riker and how he got his groove back. That's kind of where we're going with this. But
Worf, and I'm not a fan of Raffi's storyline, but Worf is interesting. But anyway, I mean, so there's, it is better than season 1 and 2. I mean, I will say that. And it's not like a terrible... it's not gripping me. That's all I'll say.
What about your overall thoughts, Daniel, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I will just echo that it is better than season 1 and 2. Very low bar, very, very low bar. But at the very least, it's much more entertaining and less stressful and frustrating than those seasons were. It's not, like the 4th episode. I thought the ending was good. And then they did that stupid Jack thing. And I'm like, why? Just save it for the next episode. If you just didn't even tag it on the end, it wouldn't have just sullied the whole thing. Now I'm just like frustrated. Like, I don't know what the heck this is. But anyways, I don't know what the big mystery of the season is yet. So if it's, as dumb as season 1 or 2, I'm going to get mad again. But if it's something maybe a little lower scale than those things were, I'll be fine. I enjoy Captain Shaw, and 7's cool. So it's cool to see 7. And she, we briefly mentioned it, but she kind of shoved it in Shaw's face. She's like, yeah, she calls me by my name because she respects me, man. And I was like, yeah, you tell him, make him eat it. So I don't think I'll start
after
calling her
phasing someone from calling her the wrong name. Like, by the way, that's my name. I was like,
yeah, I was like, that's a cool moment. That's a cool moment when you like give the agency back to Seven, and Shaw has to like earn, get that respect. So
yeah,
anyways.
no, I mean, this is the most we've seen. Well, not that we haven't seen Seven in previous seasons, but like, I think in a restart kind of way for Seven and Shaw, they are kind of purposely starting them off in a need to grow kind of place, and so that they have they have evolved over the last couple episodes. It is a little weird for that to be for like Riker, because that doesn't seem like a character that needs that. But yeah, no, I think it's like we're the gang's kind of together. Like the first grouping of the gang is together now, and then later we'll bring on Worf and Data and all the whoever. Got to get everybody back together in one shot at some point. So
all on the bridge.
All on the bridge.
I will say
the holographic bridge of the Enterprise D, and then we're all happy.
Yeah, that's how it is.
In their old uniforms.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love it. I would not complain. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I totally love it.
Stupidest thing to do.
We all would love it.
Stupidest thing to do. I would love it. I won't complain unless the makeup's bad.
I mean, one tiny little sidebar. Like when he's like, "Oh, I spent much of time in this bar," I'm like, or you could holograph, actual 10 forward where you also spent many time, but hey, again,
don't they have the little sliver and table from season 1 they used for the first?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I will say, like in a dream scenario of like, oh, your dream captain and first officer. Like I would never thought of this combo, and I'm not saying there should be a spinoff series, but I would not mind like a book of Captain Riker and Commander 7. I would have never imagined that as a duo. It would work perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think he would have been a good captain to mentor her into being like a captain herself. I think that if she had been on the old Titan, Darren, the one that Boimler got on.
Titan.
Oh, let's not. That's a story for another time. People want to talk to you, Daniel. Where would they go online? What holodeck emergency power supply would they access?
Well, there's only one of those, so they can find me at OneUpDan. That's the number one and not the word.
And Philip, if they want to stay even longer in the nebula, sorry, it's been destroyed, but they still want it. Where would they find you?
They can join me and the Jellyfish Babies at NC Public Service.
And if someone wanted to help designing openable nacelles, because that sounds like a good idea, they can go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI. Now I'm just picturing the Enterprise D nacelles like opening in some ridiculous, like, hinge manner. 95% of the warp coils are exposed, something like that.
But Darren, I do like that. Despite the crew of 500 on your ship, you're the only person who knows.
He's the old guy. He's the old guy. They don't know the new systems. They haven't read the manual. Yes.
Then fire as chief engineer. Who is that?
We don't have time.
We haven't met a chief engineer yet.
We don't have time
on the ship because they can't overshadow the Forge. Well,
all we have is Bajoran dude on the bridge,
Vulcan
lady,
Vulcan lady.
Vulcan lady, bald Vulcan lady, and I think that's it, right?
There's one other.
Yeah, there's one other.
And the
they're
Forge,
all so young. They're all so young on the bridge. Anyway, sorry.
Well, Daniel, you're just getting older. That's what it is.
Granted, all the people sitting in the middle chairs have kind of balanced out that age.
The average age is still 30.
Yeah, it's still very good.
But there's nobody that's actually 30 there. Like, young and old. That's it.
All right. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gelfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here, no longer in the nebula on City Alpha 3.